right back with another one. This one's gonna be short because you see there's people awake. Usually I do this in the morning, but I procrastinated. Why I procrastinated? Because I had so much to say. Does that make sense? No, it does not. I've been thinking about that too. But I wanted to do it like I was journaling, so I ended up just journaling it actually down. So I'm just give you the recap of what I've been thinking, because I think that's the most, as I said before, most interesting part of these things. Right. So, what's been on this noggin of mine? What is inside? What is going on? Why does it work? Well, let me tell you with my notes that I have, as always, prepared. Note number 1, I want to be in the future. So, patience is key, is what some people say. And I think that's true, because there are many things that just take time. I think I'm in one of those zones. I have done a lot of calls, done a lot of sending a lot of messages. I'm waiting on the results. Waiting to see what's gonna go down. Waiting. It takes some time, but other than that, more in the macro sense, that's a cool word for a long term, and that I have learned. The macro sense, thinking about the future, not just like the immediate. I want to be like a month in the future. Once I've gotten the results for our work, I already put in. But in the macro sense, in the bigger scale, I kind of want to do what my future self gonna do, because I've been watching vlogs, yes, lifestyle vlogs from rich people, and I've been jealous. I've been being jealous. Not of the cars, not even of the nice houses, and not even of the crazy opportunity they have and the money-making vehicle that they're driving in, but more of the, I don't know, like the ease. No, not the ease, because I don't care about the ease. Is that just something I say to myself? Who knows? But if I believe it for long enough, it's going to be the truth. Anyways, I think what I find intriguing is the impact you're able to make with the money. Because I think impact with like audience is like, sure, you can tell your audience to fucking vote whatever or do whatever, I don't know. Hatred on this guy, yeah. Like, I don't know, you can do whatever, but I think the more interesting subjects are things you can do with money, like helping people. Bellissimo, very nice. Doing cool shit, just deciding to go to another place and being in another place. That's cool. I like travel, and I think that's cool. Even if it doesn't make that much of a difference in your life, I think it's cool. And the same thing with like living by yourself, and I think there's something to buying quality, like a nice mattress. It's just like there's something nice about that. I'm gonna go farther away, so my jawline could be sharper. Stuff like that, right? Just like sometimes you want to, and this kind of bleeds into my second point, the materialism of it all. Like, I want to say I'm not jealous of the materialism, because I don't feel like this last arc of me going on stuff has been that. I think it's more of overall lifestyle, if that makes sense. This is how you're feeling. There's something to be said about that. Something to be said there. I like that phrase. It's my favorite new phrase I keep using in my mind. There's something to be said about that. Indeed. I think there's something to be said about that. Anyways, deeper into it. And pause. Alright, back. So my thoughts on the things. I think there's just something about being successful. I think that's something I haven't been able to let go of yet. I think materialism is quite simple. You just realize that the cars and the machines and whatever doesn't make you happy. Then you realize that there's utility in not caring about things. And then you use that as a kind of vehicle to start playing against materialism. So just being like, wait, I don't need this shit. Like, how cool would it be if I just lived without that shit? And then you go into deeper into minimalism, all that shit. So I think that's the first step. And then buying things that last long, they are high quality, and you realize that's where you really make the big advances in your life. Is investing in the future, whether it be your skills yourself or the items that you have that could last longer if you paid the right price instead of constantly having to rebuy them, which is something that for me at least, it's taken about a year or so to like really dig into my brain. That's easy enough. I think there is definitely something about the status that's much harder to let go, because right now I have like the money to like buy something. Like if I really wanted the new iPad, I could go buy it. Like I have the money in my bank account. I can do it. No problem, no nothing. Just I can do it. I realize that doesn't matter. So I've been able to jump the first hurdle. Now I'm realizing the next hurdle is something like status. I think I have an attachment to it. I care more than I should. I think that's the next thing I want to really challenge, is the idea that your status, or the status you gain from doing X, is important. Because at the end of the day, it isn't. We're all going to die, it doesn't matter. Much it is meaningless. So I'm gonna try to tackle it during the next year, just trying to focus on, especially as I get more successful, to just like really hammer in that it doesn't matter. Alright, nice, I got something to quench my, I don't think you can quench my hunger, but I guess quench my hunger anyways. I'm also, jealous of my future self, I think, because I believe deeply that I'm going to be successful. Or no, different topic. I remember what I was talking about. I was going on about defeating the sense of pride in my idea of the status of my future self. There we go. So currently I don't think I have like high status. I think it's like, I guess if you knew the amount I made, you would think like, yes, that's cool. But it's not like insane. But in the future I will have what other people would call a high status, which I think is something I need to prepare for. I need to be prepared. Why? Because I think that it would go into my head and that would not be good. So right now I have put it on too high of a pedestal. I'm gonna try to, over the next year, I'm gonna try to take it down. So like really understand that status doesn't matter. Everyone is equal in like the way that they're all going to die the same and be forgotten the exact same. It doesn't matter if someone wants to suck up to you or whatever, but because like the truth is, it doesn't matter. You should just respect people. Just be kind, respect, helpful, and you have it mostly figured out. So like I shouldn't be respecting, I guess. the status that these people exude. Also, another, I want to be more laid back. I think I'm like too serious about everything and too like simple-minded in there's just one way to live life, which there obviously isn't. And I think I haven't thought much about what kind of life I want to live, more than the kind where I'm successful. So I'm probably gonna think about that more, because I think that's something powerful. But I don't think it matters right now, because right now I want to do work, and that's what I'm gonna do. And just keep getting better at what I do, because that's fun, and that's what I currently want to do. There's something I want to do with the money, so I'm gonna do that. Yeah. I think my future self is just, well, I think of him as kind of all-knowing, or two kind of, I'm putting on a pedestal. Obviously, he's the same person as me, but I think there's something to be said about what he's done, you know. So I'm trying to not put him on such a pedestal, and be more like he's just very, very good at what he does, and hopefully makes good decisions too. So that's something. My next point was more thoughts on materialism. I realized now that I said it was going to be short, but then I made it long, because that was a tangent I hadn't gone on yet, so that was like new stuff. Anyways, thoughts on materialism. I think it's not easy to defeat, but when you defeat it, you realize how meaningless it is. Obviously, I don't think I'm, non-materialistic. I think that's to be completely unattached to material things is just kind of difficult. But I think being attached, or being I think being too deeply attached. I think there's like, obviously I want my, I need my computer to do my work, so I'm gonna be attached to it somewhat. But like, if it's this computer or another computer, cheaper one, more expensive one, I just don't care that much. It's fine. Like, whatever, if it's more fancy, then like, cool. If I inch a bit more productivity, cool. But if I can't, then it is what it is. And I think that's something that I've been way better on nowadays. And I've just been okay with what I have, because I think it's it's definitely everything you would need, which I'm happy about. I had like a saga where I was like all about cars, like nice cars or everything. Not like that deeply, but like kinda. But that went by, and I was able to, curb stomp that. Go left, right, left, right. Anyways, I did that, so no longer have really any deep relations with cars. I think it's quite meaningless, and I think it's better. I appreciate the money that you save by not having a car more than the car itself. So that's something. The last note is kind of meaningless, but whatever. I'll say it. I think next week's gonna be kind of crazy. There's a lot of calls booked, a lot of prospects interested, and if I get like a 50% closing rate, this month might be crazy. It might be a bit crazy. So get ready for that. Anyways, that's it for this week. Have a great week, and I know I'll see you next Sunday, I guess, since I keep doing this on Sunday. Peace.